Hello, this evening I'm going to teach you about FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. I was interested in this act because it's something that we hear about every year, and when I worked at my adult school, it was very important for us to inform all students in all the languages in the adult immigrant school. So I just thought I would dig a little deeper in to see exactly what it was, since we hear about it every year and protect our students with it annually. So it is a federal law that protects the privacy of student information records. This means your identifiable information such as grades, behavior records, test scores, etc. But there are some people that can still access your records, such as school officials with legitimate educational interests, other schools to which a student is transferring, specified officials for audit or evaluation purposes, appropriate parties in connection with financial aid to a student, organizations conducting certain studies for or on behalf of the school, accrediting organizations to comply with a judicial order of lawfully issued subpoena, appropriate officials in case of health and safety emergencies, state and local authorities within the juvenile justice system pursuant to specific state law. That is the list of those that could access it. So it protects your rights to inspect and review your own records. You have the right to access your or your child's information if they're under 18 or um, classified as a dependent on your tax form, which is something I learned from a Department of Education YouTube video. It said that it had the example of two parents who were paying for their child's education, and they wanted to be able to see how the grades were doing since they were paying for it. And so FERPA actually protects their right to see their own adult child's grades, according to that video. You have a right to seek to correct information or ask for a hearing, and you have the right to write consent for the release of information, such as any information that would be in a yearbook or a directory. Directory information is usually the example given. I wanted to share some documents I found from my district, from Montgomery County Public Schools, some artifacts that I found. So this is our annual notification or a snippet of it of your rights under FERPA. As a parent guardian, you have certain rights regarding your child's education records under FERPA and the Code of Maryland regulations, and then they summarize them below. Access, right to request, a correction, etc. And here was an old one from 2019. FERPA requires MCPS to give parents eligible students the opportunity to request that directory information be withheld. So that's what I was talking about with. That's the most common use of it, I would assume. And then they always attach it in different languages. 9 is the total times Congress has adopted FERPA in its 29 years. And I thought that was an interesting tidbit. Second example is just a hypothetical student, Antona. Antona was a high schooler applying for college. He's checking over his records before sending them to a prospective school, but then he starts seeing some errors in his transcript. Those weren't his grades. It looks like they were mixed up with the other Antona in his grade. So he petitioned the school to get the grades corrected, and the teacher obliged. FERPA protected his right to that correction. I hope you learned a lot about FERPA today. I sure did. And now I know more about the law that annually is talked about around schools and parents and adult students. Good night.